Wake up, little Hulk. Wake up because someone needs to tell you a truth that hurts more than heavy squats the next day. You don't grow because you train, sweetie. It's that simple. You spend hours at the gym, your shirt gets soaked, you post stories with mediocre pumps, and you still have arms like cooked noodles. You know why? Because muscle growth isn't charity. Muscle only grows when the body goes into survival mode, and your workout looks more like a walk in the park with pink dumbbells. Do you think muscle grows because you felt a burn? Burning is easy. Any huck with the testosterone of a chick can feel a burn. Muscle growth happens when you force your body to understand the following message. Either you grow bigger or you die. That's it. There's no mysticism. There's no magic whey protein. There's no supplement with an English name that can compensate for lax training. And here begins the real problem. Most men train as if they're afraid of their own potential. Afraid of the heavy weights, afraid of failing, afraid of being judged, afraid of groaning under the final effort. The result? A body that doesn't receive enough stimulus to release adult male testosterone. The body looks at you and thinks, this guy doesn't need muscle to survive. And that's it. Stagnation. So pay attention, little Huck, because today you're going to learn exercises that force muscle growth in record time, not because they are beautiful, not because they are popular, but because they crush your nervous system. They activate more muscle fibers and boost your testosterone levels. And the first one is the most ignored by the weak. Exercise 1. Free squat. The final judgment of your body. If you don't do heavy free squats, you don't train legs. And if you don't really train your legs, your body will never enter maximum anabolic mode. Simple. The squat is the most hormonal exercise there is. It involves quadriceps, glutes, hamstrings, lower back, abs, trapezius. It's practically a full-body workout disguised as a leg exercise. And you know what that means? Hormonal explosion. When you put a heavy barbell on your back and really squat, going all the way down with control, no fuss, your body goes into overdrive. It activates the central nervous system, releasing testosterone, GH, IGF-1. It's like pressing the red button for muscle growth. Now compare that to your soft leg extension, done sitting down like a retiree in the park. It's almost embarrassing. Scientifically speaking, squats recruit an absurd number of muscle fibers simultaneously. The more fibers activated, the greater the anabolic stimulus. It's that simple. Your body understands that it needs to get stronger, globally. It's not just about the mannequin legs. That's why those who squat hard grow even in their arms. And those who avoid squats remain with the physique of an office worker. But hold on, there's no point in doing squats like a drunken flamingo. Technique matters. Firm posture, contracted abs, neutral spine. Control the descent, explode the ascent. Real weight. Short sets, 4 to 8 repetitions. This isn't cardio, it's war. If you come out of the squat chatting, you trained wrong. And here's the metaphor you need to remember. Squats are the tax of testosterone. You pay with pain, effort, and wounded ego. And you receive in muscle, strength, and self-respect. Those who run from it pay the price in the form of stagnation, accumulated fat, and the self-esteem of a Nutella-filled hulk. Now comes the part that hurts the ego. It's no use doing it once a month. Heavy squats have to be basis of your routine at least once a week with progressive overload. Record the weight. Seek progress. Your body only grows when it perceives progress. Always repeating the same load sends the wrong message. Everything is under control. There's no need to change. And I'm warning you now, in the first few weeks, you're going to hate it. You're going to think about giving up. You're going to curse this video. Great. That's a sign that you've finally stepped out of your comfort zone. Muscle growth starts exactly where the average huck leaves off. So engrave this in your steel head. If you want to grow fast, you have to train hard. Free squats aren't optional. They're mandatory. They separate the men from the boys, the buff hulk from the soft hulk. In the next chapter, I'm going to show you the exercise that builds a thick back, predator stance, and makes your torso look like armor. And yes, most people do it wrong, But that's only if you deserve to continue. Deadlift, the exercise that turns Huck into a predator. Now listen carefully, little Hulk, because if squatting separates men from boys, then earth-moving. It separates the living from the undead in the gym. This exercise isn't popular because it's not Instagrammable. It's not pretty. It doesn't give you an instant mirror pump. But it does something much more important, constructs a raw body dense with the appearance of real strength. The body of someone who carries the world on their shoulders, literally. Do you know why most people avoid the deadlift? Fear. Fear of the heavy weight. Fear of failing. Fear of looking weak. Fear of feeling the whole body working. The deadlift is the exercise that exposes all your weaknesses at once. Weak lower back shows. Soft core shows. Baby-like grip shows. Hunchback posture shows. There's no hiding it. From a scientific standpoint, the deadlift is a muscle activation machine. It recruits the glutes, hamstrings, lower back, trapezius, abs, forearms. It's practically the entire body going into survival mode. When this happens, the central nervous system goes into high alert. And when the nervous system goes on alert, the body releases testosterone as if it were preparing you for a tribal war. Now compare that to your workout full of cables, pulleys, and guided machines. That's like a video game. The deadlift is real life. Your body doesn't know the difference between workout and threat. When you pull a heavy load off the floor, it understands that it needs to get stronger fast. The result? Accelerated muscle growth. But let's cut the illusion at the root. Doing the groundwork wrong doesn't count. That hunched-over version with your lower back looking like a ripe banana isn't training. It's a call for physical therapy. Basic technique: bar glued to the shins, chest open, neutral spine, abs locked as if you were about to take a punch. You push the ground with your feet and lift the bar as a single block. No jerking, no fuss. Clean strength. And here's a painful truth. The earth teaches the body to produce real strength. Not machine strength. Functional strength, the kind of strength that changes your posture, your way of walking, your way of occupying space. A man who works hard on the ground doesn't walk hunched over. He walks with presence. The whole body learns to organize itself around strength. This even changes your body language. Now let's talk about volume, because you like to exaggerate. Deadlifts aren't an exercise for 5 variations, drop sets, bisets, trisets, and influencer-style fancy moves. Deadlifts are heavy, short, and brutal. Few sets, few repetitions, something between 3 and 6 reps, long rest, total focus. This isn't cardio, it's structural building. And pay attention to this metaphor. The land is the foundation of your house. If the foundation is weak, painting the wall won't help. Big biceps on a weak body are like a beautiful facade on a house falling apart. Those who build strength from the ground up build muscle that lasts. Dense muscle. Muscle that doesn't shrink in the first week without training. Another thing nobody tells you, the deadlift improves even your other exercises. Squats improve, rows get better, pull-ups explode. Why? Because your core gets stronger, your grip gets firmer, your confidence with weight increases. The whole body learns to work together, not in isolated pieces like a child's Lego set. And here's where the emotional part comes in, so hold on tight. There are no shortcuts. There's no easy version. Either you face the challenge head-on, or you accept being mediocre. You can't expect record-breaking muscle growth by training as if you're afraid of weight. Weight is the language of muscle. If you don't speak that language, your body won't respond. So remember this, deadlifts aren't optional. They're mandatory for anyone who wants to grow fast, strong, and with a truly masculine appearance. It's not about ego, it's about structure. It's about sending a clear signal to your body. I need to be stronger. In the next chapter, I'm going to show you the exercise that builds chest, shoulders, and triceps like a suit of armor, and that almost everyone does wrong, thinking they're killing it. But first, analyze this chapter. If approved, I'll continue. Bench press, the masculinity exam of the chest, shoulder, and triceps. Now it's time to talk about the most ego-inflated exercise in the gym, and at the same time, one of the most poorly executed in the history of mankind, the supine press, yes, that little huck, the same one you do thinking you're strong because you put 3 weights on each side, but the bar comes down crooked, bounces on your chest, and comes back up with invisible help from beyond. That's not strength, that's acting. The bench press is the classic test of physical masculinity. It builds chest, anterior deltoid, and triceps like armor. But it only works if you do it like a man, not like an influencer desperate for approval. The problem is that most people turn the bench press into an ego contest. They want to lift weights to impress, not to grow. The result? Stagnation, damaged shoulders, and a chest that doesn't develop. Let's get down to science, but the right way. The bench press is a heavy multi-joint exercise. This means high recruitment of muscle fibers and significant activation of the central nervous system. In simpler terms, more activated fibers, more signals for the body to grow. But this only happens when the movement is efficient. When you do it wrong, the stimulus is lost, and your joints pay the price. The first rule that separates a man from a huck: stability, shoulder blades retracted, chest open, shoulders aligned. Your feet aren't just there for decoration, they're pushing off the ground. This creates a solid base for generating power. Bench press isn't just about pushing a bar. It's the whole body working like a weight-crushing machine. Now let's debunk a myth. Lowering the bar quickly and exploding upwards isn't strength, it's lack of control. The descent must be controlled. You master the weight. A slight pause at the chest and lift with killer intent. This maximizes mechanical tension, the main factor in muscle growth. Pumping is deceiving. Tension builds. And here's the metaphor you need to tattoo on your brain. A poorly executed bench press is like punching water. You get tired, it makes noise, but it doesn't generate any impact. A well-executed bench press is like a hammer hitting steel. Little movement, lots of force, real results. Now, about the load. If you can do 12 or 15 repetitions smiling, you're not training to grow fast. You're doing cardio lying down. For accelerated hypertrophy, the bench press needs to be in the range of 4 to 8 repetitions, heavy, with adequate rest. This forces the body to recruit fast-twitch muscle fibers, the ones that actually increase muscle volume and density. Another thing nobody tells you, the bench press teaches the body to push heavy loads under pressure. This transfers to other exercises and even to your posture outside the gym. A man who really lifts weight walks differently. Wider shoulders, higher chest, greater presence. It's not just aesthetics, it's body language. And here comes the part that hurts the ego. A machine is not a substitute for a free weight bench press. The machine guides the movement, steals stabilization, and reduces muscle activation. It's assisted training, like training wheels on a bicycle. It's suitable for beginners or rehabilitation. If you want muscle growth in record time, you need the challenge of the free weight bar. The body grows when it's challenged, not when it's pampered. But listen, because I'm not telling you to become a reckless idiot. Intelligent progression is key. Increase the load gradually. Maintain technique. Write down your weights. If the weight doesn't increase over the weeks, your body has no reason to grow. It's that simple. Muscle responds to progress, not intention. And now comes the emotional ladder, so hold on tight. There's no respectable chest without uncomfortable effort. There's no thick arm without strong triceps. And there's no strong triceps without heavy bench press. You can do 1,000 isolation exercises, but if you avoid serious bench press, your body will betray you. Deflated chest, weak shoulders, triceps lacking density. So understand this once and for all. The bench press isn't about vanity, it's about foundation. He builds his upper body like armor, but it only works for those who respect the exercise and accept the weight of the discipline. In the next chapter, I'll wrap up with exercises that transform your back into wings and your body into a dominant structure, and that make your testosterone levels rise without needing any miracle pill. Fixed bar and military development, the wings and crown of the strong man. Now listen up, little Hulk, because here we're sealing the coffin on soft training. If after squats, deadlifts and bench presses you still think you can grow quickly training sitting on a machine, then you don't want muscle, you want an excuse. The last two exercises are the final stamp of physical masculinity. Fixed bar and military development. One builds wings, the other builds a crown. Together, they transform their body into a dominant structure. Let's start with the pull-up bar, the most democratic and most humiliating exercise there is. Democratic because it doesn't care about your clothes, supplements, or playlist. Humiliating because it exposes the naked truth. Either you can lift your own body or you are weak. It's that simple. A pull-up bar is about relative strength. It's you against gravity. No tricks. From a scientific standpoint, the pull-up is one of the exercises that most recruits the lats, biceps, trapezius, rhomboids, and core simultaneously. It's a heavy, free, unstable vertical pull. In other words, absurd muscle activation and a strong anabolic signal. Your body understands that it needs to build a broad back to survive. And a broad back isn't just about aesthetics. It changes your entire silhouette. Shoulders appear wider, waist appears smaller, presence increases. But then comes the classic mistake of the Nutella Hulk, using momentum, kicking the leg, shortening the movement. That's not a pull-up, it's aerial dance. A man's pull-up is chest moving towards the bar, shoulder blades retracting, total control. If you can't do many, great. Do a few. Do them right. Progress. Muscle growth doesn't care about your pride. Now remember this metaphor. The pull-up bar is the predator's test. If you can't pull yourself up, your body sees no reason to grow wings. It classifies you as comfortable prey. And comfortable prey doesn't grow muscle. Now let's move on to the military press, the exercise that builds shoulders that command respect. This exercise isn't just about pushing weight upwards. It requires stability, a strong core, coordination, and courage. Shoulders grow when they need to stabilize heavy loads overhead. Real shoulders aren't born from soft lateral raises with pink dumbbells. Military development intensely recruits the deltoids, triceps, trapezius, and core. When you push weight overhead while standing, the body goes into maximum alert mode. It's a load on the structure, and load on the structure generates adaptation, broader shoulders, a more solid torso, a commanding posture. And here's the painful part. Doing seated shoulder presses, leaning back, fully supported, drastically reduces the stimulus. Standing, the core works, the lower back stabilizes, the whole body participates. That's a man's workout. That's a workout that accelerates muscle growth because it involves more muscle, more tension, and more neural demand. Now put it all together. Pull-ups, pull. Shoulder presses, push. One builds width, the other builds height. Together, they transform your torso into a tower. And when the torso changes, everything else seems bigger. Arms grow more, chest becomes more prominent, shape takes over. And now comes the final truth, so hold on tight. There is no single magic exercise. Muscle growth in record time happens when you focus on the big movements, respect the load, progression, and discipline. These 5 exercises, squat, deadlift, bench press, pull-ups, and military press, are the backbone of a strong body. Everything else is secondary. Crying won't help, complaining won't help, looking for miracle supplements won't help. Testosterone doesn't come in a tub of whey protein. It comes when your body understands that you're living under challenge. When you train hard, sleep right, eat like a man, and repeat this week after week. And now, I'll close as I began. You can continue being the cute, lazy, and slow-growing Hulk, or you can accept the discomfort, embrace the weight, and build a body that commands respect. It's not easy. It never has been. And that's exactly why it works. Going from a Nutella-filled Hulk to a respectable muscular Hulk isn't motivating. It's a decision. Now go ahead and lift that damn weight.